right, good evening. We are going over our week 4 community forum. And in our forum, we are asked to explain the relationships with the doshas, Agni, and Dhatu formation. So to start off, if all of these are in balance, we're in balance with nature. Specifically with the mind-body junctions, as far as how our consciousness, the wholeness, the health and ease and awareness in our body. It's how everything works together to support that body, mind, and spirit in each individual. So what we go to do is see how imbalances begin, how they can be corrected, how they can be healed at that root cause of whatever is causing anything. So what ends up happening is that the mistake of the intellect, when things begin to drift off course, one forgets who they are, so we're not in touch with our consciousness anymore. Things aren't whole, complete, unified. That imbalance begins where that disease starts to manifest and we start seeing weaknesses in our doshas. So the importance of the doshas are to stay balanced, to keep them in that those intelligences, the vata, pitta, and kapha intelligences in our bodies, and where they're able to self-repair and there's balance. When there's imbalance, they don't function properly, and that inner intelligence, just the self mechanisms aren't there anymore. So you have that mistake of intellect when stuff like that ends up happening. So we have to get the prakriti in balance to keep the Vakriti from manifesting. So in order to do that, we have to make sure our Agni is strong. In order to make sure the Agni is strong, make sure we're eating wholesome foods. We're in a nice, calm environment. Just depending on what we're doing, we're taking care of ourselves mentally. So with that being said, with Dhatu formation, as long as we are eating what's wholesome and pure and not processed foods that are impure, we are able to satisfy the energetic qualities of those different doshas, and make sure that that food that's being digested for our doshas, depending on the diet, gets processed through pitta properly, so that Agni, that digestive fire, eventually turns into a subtle, finer substance called ahara ras, which is that it means it's gone, that nutrient that's gone through that digestive process. Okay, so once the food that you've digested that is wholesome and pure, and it's turned into that nutritive fluid, ahara ras, it's going to get distributed to the 7 dhatus one at a time, and it's going to start with rasa dhatu, and then slowly it'll finish with that 1 dhatu, and then it'll pause, that silence, the consciousness, and then with that dynamism, and then it'll move to the next dhatu, and it'll just continue on until it gets to shukra, and then we'll have ojas. And then the circle begins over and over again. Then ojas, and then it'll go through all the dhatus again. After that, you have the byproducts that are formed, which also have to stay balanced in that formation of the dhatus. So you have the apahadas, which are usually the reproductive fluids and like breast milk and stuff. Then you have the malas, which are the waste, the urine, the sweat, the feces, the toxins that need to be eliminated that also have to remain balanced. So we are asked if a client how would we, in relationship to understanding, like our clients, the protocols and stuff? Well, we have to see what's going on in the pulse, um, uh, the surface pulse, the deep pulse where their consciousness lies, so we can see what's going on mentally. Then the subdoshas and the dhatu, because the subdoshas and the dhatus are really going to tell us what's going on, what protocols we need to follow. Just slowly introducing maybe routine, maybe it'll be something a little bit to the diet, just taking baby steps, because we want to see what's going to work. If it's not going to work, back up, start again, because it might be just a diet change. It might be something in the routine. It might be something just mentally that they need to add to their routine. Um, so we really have to understand how the um, the doshas are working, how the agni is working, how the what the dhatus are doing, and we can get that through the pulse. I mean, even visually seeing what stuff is, but the pulse is really going to tell us what is happening in the body for our clients, so we can serve them and help them get to that balanced state again, or understand when they get a little imbalanced where they need to go to first, or if they need help, because some of us just don't know, and that's why we're here. Thank you very much, and I hope you will have a wonderful evening.